The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Stephen Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Stephen cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Stephen Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Stephen's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Stephen. My crew is, of course, all clones of Stephen. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Stephen's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Stephen Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Stephen mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Stephen. And through me, he will live again to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Stephen Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1.
Who's that, Stephen? It's Gamghoul, Stephen!
How you holding up out there, Stave? I'd say considering I'm fighting a Stephen who doesn't draw, I'm doing alright, really. Ha! Just try to keep everyone entertained while you try to keep your head. I need more time in Cathar Stephen's palace. I know the god Graphite is here. Somewhere in here. If I only knew where. Hey, no rush, man. I got this guy on the ropes. Trust me.
Yeah! Nusenya Thanda, Duneja Madito, Dunya, Nanyata Da Giata.
What?
It's Incanthia, great sword of the Black Fountain. He really does have it.
Yeah! Nitroya. Nitsuyo Tufu. Gimya Tanta. Ata.
This is a dream of Stephen. Stave, are you there?
Stephen, you got to the ship. How do you get past the blockades?
Nothing the dream couldn't handle. But they're on me, and we're coming in hot. I'm gonna get you out of there. Do I have clearance to murder some citizen Stevens as I strafe the arena?
Soon, but not yet. Sturvin needs more time in the palace to find the god Graphite. If you attack now, all the guards watching my execution will rush back to the palace to secure Cathar Stephen. So give him the runaround until I get word from Sturvin. The god Graphite! Finally! Oh, it's beautiful! Whoa, yes. Come to Sturvin. Hold on. No need to rush there, little Stephen. You and I both know Stave wouldn't want you to get sloppy and spill any of that, would he?
Hello, friends, fellows, countrymen. Lend me your ears. All right. I am alive, I think. I am existing. I am functional. What's up? Oh, that delicious coffee. I still get to drink coffee on stream because it's before 9 a.m. Got him. Hello, great and one ancestor of Stave Zatapats, progenitor of the Stephen mind. Hello, EJ. Clay. Hello. How's everybody doing? Like last stream, I apologize if there is an untoward amount of coughing and hacking on this stream. I have not gotten over that problem. I have concluded that what I thought was a cold was the onset of crushing allergies, which apparently are worse in my new neighborhood than they were in my old neighborhood. I think that's why I was caught off guard. It must have just the right flavor of pollen around here to completely ruin me. Yeah, I think it's allergies. I don't think it was a cold. What cemented that for me is that my wife did not get sick. It's like if one of us gets sick, the other one always gets sick. 4 days later, she's right as rain. I was like, damn it, it was allergies, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, everybody, let sketchbooking commence. Hello, Mel. Hello, Hubs. Let's, everybody get to doing it now. Let me lower the brightness on this slightly. Hubs has them. Dude. Allergies. Just our weak bodies. Can't handle a little bit of tree pollen, a little bit of tree love. I have begun the long and complicated process of loading my body full of antihistamines. So hopefully soon and very soon, that'll sound normal for you all. Because I know it's hard because this is a singing stream, you know, this is a music stream. So it is of course upsetting me, very upsetting when my instrument is damaged, you know, when there's a little bit too much humidity in the instrument, when the strings aren't tuned just right. That's upsetting. It's of course it is for a professional musician like me. Hello, Steven. Do we have a theme today to sketch to? No, never. I'm not in the business of telling people what to draw. That ain't me, man. You draw whatever strikes your fancy. And if you have nothing striking your fancy, you investigate. Why doesn't anything strike my fancy? Because my fancy is a pretty big target. When you look at it, I've been told by many people that my fancy is pretty big. So the idea that something wouldn't be able to strike it, a little hard to believe. It's like, how could you miss, you know? Pretty big fancy. I can't have my day started without your beautiful singing voice, Steven. Abstinence of it could kill me. I don't know what to tell you. The throat's all sealed up. The gates to the flowing ambrosia that is my voice are clogged. No, Have you ever been intimidated to go back to working on your portfolio after a break? Of course. That's natural. At this point, I've probably been through every emotional configuration that arises in art making. That's not true. There's always going to be more, but probably any sad, embarrassing, disappointing, hurtful situation that can arise in art, I've been there, man. Burnt out, ready to quit, very sleepy, incredibly sleepy, unable to work because I'm also sleepy. I've been there. Good advice, maybe I'll try and make a comic book page. Your short video comic was inspiring. Go for it, make the comic book page. I often find myself thinking like, man, I should make a comic. And I think like, man, a comic would be cool like this, comic would be cool like that. And then eventually I remember like, I don't like comics. I don't read comics. I'm not a huge fan of comics. It's like, where do I get this feeling that I should make a comic? I think if I'm gonna tell a story, I think it would always be more in that animatic kind of capacity, because especially because I could do silly voices, and really that's my true art form. I need to be able to do silly voices. See, how big should his butt be? Maybe like, that seems like a reasonable butt for a monster. That looks pretty good. His thighs should come out to like here. Yeah. Looks normal. Gonna try to do true sketchbooking today. I'm not gonna get too caught up on any little drawing. Do you animate? I do not. I've always been a still image kind of a guy. I've done animatics and stuff like that for work sometimes. I did a bunch when I was a kid, a little chitlin, but those I like because I have more leeway to work the individual images, you know? Look, movement is beautiful, but just for my stupid brain, my brain prioritizes the beauty of the single image over the beauty of movement. Hi, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. I am good. I hope you are doing well, Luis. Turning into an 18+ stream real quick there. It is always an 18+ stream around here, just for the record. I think some people think like, oh, just because he's a person who's drawing, I should, you know, have Stephen on while my kids are in the room. Do not have me on while your kids are in the room. This is definitely an adult stream. I draw monsters, I draw scary things. I swear, I curse. I say inappropriate things. And I don't give baby advice either. I give big boy advice. How did you learn anatomy? Did you went through all the books out there like Bridgman, Riley Method, that kind of stuff? I did actually, yeah. I haven't kept up with like a lot of the newer ones that have come up, but back for my era, back in my time when I was learning anatomy, I basically looked at all of them, learned from all of them, read them all. I also took classes, you know, I was taught directly. Ray Bustos was my main teacher. I had the good luck to be able to study cadavers, go see real bodies, flayed, preserved, laid out on a table at the UCLA Medical School. Ah, my dear Joseph Mazziliano, with a redacted message. Oh, love you, Joe. I love how much respect you have for me. That you realize that your message is wasting my time. And you just take it back so I don't have to read it. I love you, man. Only you. Doug says, just stopped in to see the art. Awesome as always. Peace. Goodbye, Doug. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. I find it hard to go through all of them. Sometimes seems easy when I focus on one method. Is that normal? Yeah. I mean, I usually studied like one at a time, you know? Awesome, man. Cadaver studying seems very cool and creepy at the same time. I will say that once you're there, you know, unless you're an asshole, you very quickly, you sort of enter the professional mindset and you kind of disassociate from it a bit. Like once the cadavers were out and it was like, all right, guys, we got, 3 hours, so ask questions and learn whatever you can. It's like once it's on a stopwatch like that, I don't remember. There wasn't a moment where I could think about it being weird. It was just like investigation. You go into the professional mindset. Kind of how some people, before they've done it, they think life drawing is going to be awkward because they're going to be staring at a naked person. And then once you actually go, you realize that because there's a goal and there's like a professional setting, it's not awkward at all. And you're just focused on the drawings. You don't even think about that. Here's a question going out to everyone, Stephen included. If you could only pick one of the two, would you rather be a creative artist or an artist with a high degree of technical skill? Creative for sure. If we're talking about like placing yourself on a far end of the extreme, it's much more useful to be a creative artist than a technical artist. I mean, yeah. In the middle of those spectrums, it's a fight between the two about which is more useful. But if we're talking about placing yourself at the extremes, for me, creative is the way to go. I mean, because if you could be really bad at drawing in every technical sense, but if you're super creative, like you'll build an empire. You'll be rich. Your work will inspire people. You'll leave a legacy. You'll be able to communicate your ideas. It's like. Almost anything you could want out of art is more easily achieved through intense creativity than intense technical ability. For a lot of artists, an intense technical capability with a lack of creativity just makes you exceptionally useful to be exploited by a company for less than you're worth. That's where it leaves you. I find technical artists impressive, but it's mostly boring, especially photorealism. Well, you can be highly technical in any style, I think. When I think creativity, I think that's more like, well, you know, we're debating semantics there, and especially with art stuff, it's like no one's ever going to agree, but I think of creativity as like being able to come up with new things and find unique solutions to problems and tell your own stories and things like that. But someone else's definition of creativity will be different. And it's not like excellent drawing is not creative by definition. It is, and in order to draw well, even purely technically, there's a huge amount of creativity involved. It's just like creativity about the craft, like how to design lines, how to design shadow shapes and things like that. And I think, I mean, we could debate it, but I think that that's a narrower kind of creativity than creativity at large, if you know what I mean. Sorry, guys. Again, apologies if I cough loudly into the microphone at any point and blow out somebody's ears. That's my bad. That's my bad. Or blame the trees. Hormone says, I found out that finding your own stories and exploring new stuff comes out of boredom. Just collaging things and creating something new you like. Yeah, I mean, certainly if you're bored enough, I think a creative mind will start offering up new and exciting stories, but it's not just out of boredom. Sometimes you come up with stories and new ideas out of excitement. You know, you've just been so overwhelmed by something that you saw or an experience that you had that you're just like, I just gotta turn this into some art, you know? Something that artists these days are rude to do, though. Artists seem to have a very hard time in our era with turning their personal experiences into art. They want to do impersonal things for the most part. You know, make stuff using ideas that are already out there, or they're just sort of focused on the productivity aspect of it or the social media aspect of it. Or artists are definitely losing touch with the possibility that art can be used to work things out internally or to discover things about yourself or to help with things about yourself. You know, as an art teacher, you know, I've definitely had this experience. It's like you ask an artist these days to do something personal. It's like pulling teeth with a lot of them. They're like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean personal? And they got all these built up delusions, you know? They're like, no, 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 no. The reason I do art is to honor my favorite video games. It's like, let's explore that. Let's find out if that's really true. Stay strong. Thanks, Catman. Hi, Stephen. Can we get some of your thought process on the lizard booty there? Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's like all right, look, all lizards need to have booty, right? That's just a given. We could argue about it. We could have a deep philosophical debate about like, should a lizard have booty? Should it not have booty? It's like, you know, we live in a complicated world. There's all sorts of different viewpoints and things like that. But I think most people, most sane and rational people, if they're open and having a good faith argument, are going to conclude that a lizard should have booty. So then that opens the door to a lot of other follow-up questions, like how thick should the booty be? How pointy should it be? Where should the point be? Should it be one of those booties that peaks high? Should it be one of those booties that peaks low? Should it have more like the soft booty feeling, where it's like you can kind of imagine like the poke, or it's like the quarter bounces off, you know? And then that really the answers to a lot of that stuff comes down to your feeling about lizards. You know, it's like, what reaction do you get when you see a lizard? You know, when you watch one basking on a rock on a sunny day, like, is it the kind of lizard that like when it sticks its tongue out, the tongue kind of like just goes straight out, like, or is it one of those kinds of lizards where it's like when the tongue goes out, it kind of comes up the side and it like licks its own eyeball, you know? And if you actually know what you think about that stuff, I think it's usually pretty clear what kind of booty the lizard should have. Janosch, how are you, man? Classical lizard booty debate, yep. Since the time of Socrates, in many of his Socratic dialogues, Socrates and his hypothetical student are really just getting caught up in the lizard booty debate, working it out from every angle, putting it through a political lens. Magda, how are you? Happy Ramadan, Stephen. Happy Ramadan, Zane. Should read The Lusty Argonian Maid. I was surprised when I was working on Elder Scrolls by how much Argonian pornography there is. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I was still surprised. I would say it was the level of verisimilitude that really really took me by surprise. It's just like you don't have to go very deep on a Google search for Argonians to find some stuff. What's today's date? Moyo says, hello. I just watched your podcast with Ahmed. I don't know if I'm ready for the stream right now. Should I ration my daily dose of Steven? I would highly advise rationing your daily dose of Steven. I'm a caustic, industrial strength exfoliant for the mind. You don't want to be too heavily abraded. Especially, I don't know if it's the morning for you. It's like you get too strong a dose, you're gonna be walking around raw all day. You don't want that. What do you think is the best exercise for artists? Whatever exercise you'll actually do is always the answer. There's no one that's like truly better than any of the others. It's just that people have different temperaments and you're just gonna, a lot of them are just not going to align with you. So it really is just whichever one you will do. You just need to keep your contact time with drawing very high. As long as you can do that, you're gonna be all right. Catman says, thanks for doing this. It's been a while since I catch a good streamola. Always happy to provide a streamola. Get your streams, yeah? Come and get your big streamola over here. Free streams, everybody. Come and get your streams over here. Got drawing streams over here, piping hot drawing streams. Some talking. Mostly drawing. Come and get your drawing streams over here. Nova says, hello, godfather of anime girls. Jesus. Lord, let this cup pass from my lips. So would goblin moms feed their kids buggers? The hell are you talking about? I think goblins eat meat, probably. Hi, Steven. How are those patron streams going? I've seen some juicy robots in my way to the internets. They're good. We've done a couple. I did a couple last week. It's fun. It's a different environment. Because it's just a few people. I can focus on research and stuff more. We still chat and mess around, but like just as a function of there being less people in there, I don't have to manage the energy so much. It's a good environment to show like collecting research, how to research, Google foo. Different kinds of stuff. Stuff that if I did it on a public stream, everybody would immediately exit. Hi, Emma. Watching from school, incredible. Incredible. I'm part of the school experience even though I'm not teaching at a school. The power of the modern internet. The power of the world. I'm in there, I'm educating people without even knowing it. So how you doing, Steve? I'm good. I'm good. What's been up with me? Feeling a little sick these past few days from allergies, but you know, I find allergies, it's like you can feel just as sick as if you have a cold or more so, but I don't know, being sick, being really sick, like with a cold, to me feels more like, ugh, I'm sick, you know, I'm bummed out. Allergies, it's just like, I feel equally bad, but it doesn't affect my mood as much. I don't know what that is. It's like I'm still in a good mood. I just happen to be hacking like crazy and my eyes are all watery and stuff. I've been doing a lot of planning. Probably this past week or more, my wife and I have been filling up our summer schedule, planning a lot of trips and things like that. The calendar is getting pretty full. But you got to do it early, especially for anything in those summer months. Planning family vacations and stuff like that. I think we're just about done with that now. Thank God, because it was a lot. It's hard to plan. It's hard to plan, especially with other people, you know, aligning schedules, finding the right amenities to price ratio for Airbnbs. So I'm good. That's what I've been up to. Come visit Portugal, Stephen? I just might. I actually just might. My in-laws are going to Portugal for a wedding over the summer, and we considered going with them. That could still happen. Lassie Talks About Art says, how to art? How to art? Well, step one, go out and fall in love with the world. As lame as it sounds, it is the essential first step. Go walk around your neighborhood, go walk around your town. Become a mystical yokel, as Alan Watts might have put it, and just marvel at the shocking beauty of the very run-of-the-mill world around you. You do that for a while, you'll know how to art. Oh, you'll know how to art. Ever traveled to Argentina, Stephen? I have not. But everywhere is on the hit list. Kissing trees in front of cops, that's how you know you're a true artist. You'll know that you're a true artist and that you know how to art when the police are pointing tasers at you and they're like, back away from that tree, sir. And you're like, no. Licking the bark. Like, put that tongue away. I don't think so. You just start kissing the branches. They're like, oh God. He's such a fucking hipster. He's such a fucking hippie, dude. One of the officers vomits. I can't watch. Sorry, I'm trying to change our background ambiance here. I don't know, Steven. I think that just makes you a pervert. Negative. Negative. You just don't understand. You don't understand. None of you understand me. Can't tell you how many times my wife has had to bail me out of jail. She's like, he was kissing trees again, huh? Yeah, I'll be down there in a minute. Thank you, Officer Costello. Then they let the artist go because the cringe is overwhelming. It's our most powerful tool. When the chips are down, we can always use the cringe. Let's find something interesting here. Goodbye, Magda. Oh yeah, you gotta go get some rest, Magda. That's a very long working day. It's time for rest. Time for sleep. Well, 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 if it isn't Mr. My values are better than yours. So what? You don't know me. You don't know my struggles. Well, well, well. If it isn't Mr. My values are better than yours. Gotta go. Love the streams. Thanks, Israel. Take care. Happy travels. Mihail says, hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Hey, Mihail. I can speak for everybody. Everybody's having a great day. How's your Pandemonium project going, Steven? Did you ever get around to finishing that? I haven't worked on it in a while. It's been a bit. I always come back to it, though. Goblins take out the trash too, my god. Watched a video of a Proco partner. What's a Proco partner? I gotta take my sweater off, it's hot. And it seriously pissed me off. And blunt and arbitrary lit the values in his works were despite of all the detail and was real faces used for ref, and with real faces used for ref, and without a lack of understanding. It evokes anger and frustration looking at art like that. Don't, look, I know that we all have our artistic tastes, but don't let art that you don't agree with or that doesn't rise to level with for you, don't let it make you angry. Don't let it make you angry. Don't let external things like that disturb your internal equilibrium. There's no joy there. That's only going to go wrong. Looking at art made by pros that don't notice those issues is like having a dream where you can't hurt someone with your purchases regardless of how hard you try. Damn, M. DeBoer. Who hurt you, baby? Take it easy, man. Hi, Love Lullaby. I'm so sad to be done with my talking. Steven, have you ever looked into Dead Space and their monster designs? The anatomy distortions they got going on remind me of your sketches. Yeah, I've seen Dead Space. I've never played it. I considered playing it. When the remake came out recently, but I didn't pull the trigger on it. So I'm not super familiar with them, but I've definitely seen them around. You know, I've watched parts of like playthroughs of Dead Space and, you know, like any good nerd, I've watched lore videos for games and projects I've never played. So I've seen a few lore videos about Dead Space. It was a long time ago now, but. How don't they notice? They're in the business for years. Nobody ever was like, hey buddy, maybe work on those things. I mean, look, I don't know who you're talking about or anything like that, but you got to understand, maybe somebody did. Maybe somebody did say, hey, why don't you work on those things and things like that? But maybe they just didn't have the opportunity to do so, or they didn't have the right motivating factors to do so. You know, maybe they already had a career at that point, and, you know, those particular downfalls were not really relevant to their clients. So why were they going to not waste, but spend so much time improving those things when it wasn't really going to make their niche or their jobs better? There's all sorts of reasons why people would not sort of try to cover every little thing that they're bad at. You know, nobody can. And personally for me, it's like anytime anyone can be a pro at art, it's like, it's a personal miracle as far as I'm concerned. I would never begrudge them pulling it off. No matter their perceived skill level or anything like that from my point of view. Steven, how do you approach digital shading in comparison to analog? Are there any big differences? Not really. I mean, the only big difference for me, the way that I work, is that I can use the airbrush to do big areas easily, right? I can just take a big airbrush and that gives me a flat tone. It's like, that's literally one stroke. If I want a flat tone that big in traditional, I got to spend like 10 minutes making it or something like that. That's really the only difference. Everything else, I'm trying to make the same stuff. And by the same stuff, I do mean the modeling factors. I'm just trying to replicate the modeling factors in a two-dimensional space. Steven, when you eat an apple, do you eat the core? If you don't, I'm unsubscribing. I have before. I'm not going to say I do it every time, but I absolutely have. I eat lemons straight. A lot of people don't like that. But if there's like a lemon slice on the table, I just got to pop that thing in my mouth. I just get it all the way down to the rind. Sometimes I eat the rind. When I eat oranges, I eat the rind. I like the bitterness of the rind. I like the bitterness of green tea. Yeah, green tea is delicious. Not enough good things have been said about green tea over the millennia. Which side do you peel a banana from? I mean, I just start from whatever side is not facing another person in the room. I just don't want another person to see the delicate meat of my banana. So I always just present the other person in the room the shielded side. And I never peel the shielded side. I always leave one, all the way up to the top, one wall that I can present to another person. I kind of eat the banana like sideways like that, like it's a corn on the cob. Hello, Steven, we miss you. I'm right here. Why are you missing me? Right here. Thoughts on peppermint tea? Fucking tool used by the elites to control the underclasses. Thoughts on wood burning? You know, burning wood in your fireplace is very romantic, and it sure makes for a nice evening, but it is actually quite bad for you, they say. It's still just burning fuel very nearby and indoors. And if you do it a lot, you know, like every time we do a big fire at my in-laws, the next day we're all like, ugh, ugh, you know, it gets in you. It really gets in you. Hello, Steven. Why are you saying scary things? There ain't nothing but scary things to say. The world's a wild place. There's a part of reality that we really can only describe as scary. Sometimes we gotta face it down. How's your friend Ahmed Al-Duri doing? I think he's good. I haven't caught up with him in a little bit. I think he's working on Med's Map too. He sent me a text the other day asking some questions that I take it. My assumption is they were for Med's Map 2, knowing the subject matter and all that, as I do. I think he's hard at work in production for that. Steven, I started reading King Killer because you mentioned it here once. Is it just me, or is the second book like a total mess compared to the first one? Totally off topic. Yeah, people are divided on the second book. So I like the second book, but I think that, well, people dislike it for tons of reasons, but it's very long, and I think that you've got to be ready for a sort of a wandering story. You know, it's sort of about the travails that will become legend for this character. If you're not ready for that, or you're not in the, not ready for that, but like if you're not in the mood for that at the time that you read it, I think that book 2 would be very hard. But I read it, when I read it, it was like I had time for it. I got to take it slow. Well, I think if I remember correctly, I did devour it when it came out. But yeah, it's not for everybody. I really like the second book. I mean, when I go back to King Killer, like when I'm in the shower and I'm like, washing my hair, man. Oh yeah, keeping that hair good, and suddenly I'm like, shit. Wait a second. I've got a new King Killer theory. Every time that happens, I then run out of the shower, naked, dripping, soapy, sudsy, to the computer. And when I'm looking up stuff to validate my theory, it's always stuff in book 2, and it's rarely stuff in book 1. Like there's tons of stuff in book 2, you know? But yeah, it depends how you're reading the books, what you're reading them for, you know? Robert Litt just says the length doesn't bother me. It's just that the scenarios feel a bit odd. What do you mean? Actually, don't. I think I know what you mean, and don't spoil anything. Forget that I asked you what do you mean. Just leave it be. No spoilers for the audience. Mama Nova's got to go get tea. Enjoy your tea. Earth says, how often do you create custom shapes in Photoshop, and do you use them in professional work? I don't really use the shape tools very much, unless I need like an arrow or something. That's really the only time I use them. Speaking of books, I read the first 3 Body Prom a while ago. I love the characterization, but struggled with the scientific jargon, lol. I guess that's just my soft brain. Should I read the rest? I think the rest are great. It's one of the, I mean, you know, it's legendary for a reason. It's one of the best sci-fi stories out there, I think. I think they're worth the read. I think you can plow through the scientific jargon and be okay. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like the scientific jargon is not super important, you know. I think the jargony parts are, you know, they're like guitar solos. It's like it's just there to shock you while crazy stuff happens, you know. Can you promise an oil painting live stream for us? Absolutely. Once I set up my painting space and I've got my drafting table and all that, I will absolutely stream from there. That is no doubt. You don't have to doubt it. It's just true. Who wrote King Killer? I might get into it. Patrick Rothfuss. I'm on the art journey. Any advice to avoid burnout? If you feel burnt out, just take a break. Don't try to you know, pretend you're a Navy SEAL or something and be like, I'm gonna push through it. They have no idea when I'm powerful enough. I'll show you, Dad. Like, don't do that. Just take a break. I'll show you, Dad. I'll show you that art isn't just a talent and that you either have it or you don't. I'll show you that if you work hard, you can get good at anything. Have the course Spanish subtitles, the mentorship also? No. The course has, but we're working on it. I say no just to be definitive for right now, but the course does have Spanish subtitles. It's just so far it's only on like the first 7 videos, I want to say. But me and my translator are working on it. So soon I will be able to say yes, the course does have Spanish subtitles. Artifacts of Exile says, you're a voice actor, right? No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a professional quality voice actor, but I'm not a professional voice actor. Travis says, do you not speak Spanish? No, not to the level that, not to the level where I could do the translations for myself. I speak rudimentary Spanish, you know, but not it doesn't match my English, and you know, my language in the course is you know, my full English power, and I don't know how to translate that into Spanish. When I speak Spanish, I'm a different person. I'm like, let's get dinner. What if we get it here? Sounds good. What was your project with Nickelodeon? That was a theme park project. I did the, I designed the, I mean, I don't know if you guys would know it, but the American Dream Center Mall at Meadowlands in New Jersey is when it was built, was the biggest mall in the world. World or America, I forget. I think it briefly held the title for biggest mall in the world. That title gets passed back and forth all the time. And that has a big Nickelodeon theme park in it with rides and stuff like that. So I did a bunch of design work for that theme park. That I can say. That I can say because that's out in the world. That project's done. That's one of the few ones I can actually just talk about. Could you do a full stream in Spanish? No, not like what you're used to here. It would be me being like, estoy dibujando. Ok, me gustó. Voy a hacer otro dibujo. ¿Qué voy a dibujar? ¿Puede ser que voy a dibujar un monstruo? Puede ser. Ok. Ahí estoy haciendo las líneas. Míralas. ¡Qué chimba! ¡Wow! Chévere. Me gustó. Ok, ahora las sombras. Despacito. Despacito. Solo un poquito. Wow, me gustó. Perfecto. Whoops, let me put that guy in his own layer. Audiogo says, as a non-Spanish speaker, I'm 100% convinced by your Spanish. Yeah. Are you working on or would you like to improve your Spanish? I mean, for real, not in a perfect world, I would speak Spanish. Yeah, I have. There's been times where I've put like actual work into improving my Spanish. But I just don't have the time right now. I try not to make any illusions about it. Like, I'm perfectly comfortable just saying right now, like, I am not working on my Spanish right now. I just don't have time. Right now, my schedule is completely full. You know, these days, it's every minute of my day is accounted for. That's the most Spanish someone has ever Spanished. I don't know about that. Goodbye, Emma. Enjoy vintage movie night. Any good news about AI? It's increasingly harder to spot it. Yeah, and increasingly hotter. They're on it. Good news. It's hard to say because a lot of it is anecdotal right now, which makes perfect sense. But like, I've heard it's a mixed bag. I mean, I've heard of some companies like banning it. But at the same time, I've heard of other companies embracing it. Sometimes the companies that are embracing it are unfortunately influential, and so they're going to have an outsized effect on the situation. Yes, Glaze is out. I just assumed that when they asked me for any good news that it was more since the last time I talked about it, where I talked about Glaze. I think a lot of it's like if you're looking for good news in terms of the tech, like you said, it's getting harder and harder to spot. If you're worried about AI, as I think everybody should be, there's not going to be good news there for a long time. The tech's only going to get crazier and crazier and more deceptive and more widespread and more available and just better at doing its job. So that's, I foresee that being an upward trajectory for a while. I think the good news is more in how seriously people are taking it, who's taking it seriously, things like that. I was listening to that Lex Friedman with Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. I was listening to that yesterday. And, well, there's parts of what Sam was saying where I was like, Jesus, shut up. And then there was other parts where I was like, all right, that's good. That's good he thinks that. But, the thing is that, like, when he's expressing cogent worries about the systems and saying that they do need regulation and things like that, it's one thing to say those things on a podcast where there's no real stakes, you know, where that kind of just makes you sound even-handed and responsible. It's like, that doesn't really mean much. What matters is he saying those things when he speaks to the people who might regulate him, you know? Levi's is going to just AI generate black models in the name of diversity. Yeah, I mean, we're eating ourselves. What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, this is all very unfortunate, you know? We're just living through the fact that our society just has not instilled humanistic values in most people, in any of us, that it just sort of pushes us out of school, just completely dumb, philosophically inequipped, not sure what we want, so we all just get sort of shoveled into the same old crap. Just, God, everybody's lives is just like, how much money am I gonna make? Are other people gonna think I'm sexy? And how can I get as much status as my brother or sister so that I don't seem like the black sheep or the chump of the family? It's like those three things just like dominate people's lives, and much less hoping for something deeper to do with your life. People can barely undo those weird conditioning programs. And it's like, we're just fucking up the world because of it. Yeah, let's make AI robots that are going to do all the fun creative things because, well, I'm the one making it and I need to be famous and leave a legacy and make a lot of money because I'm me, so that's it. Period, full, end stop. What are we doing? What are we doing? It was better when the Mongols ran things. You're so right. Dude, dude, you're absolutely right. I'm ready to get raided, son. I'm ready to get burned alive. I'm ready to get dunked in grease. I'm ready to get trailed behind a horse. That's the good stuff. And no one has ever asked for AI making art, to be honest. Yeah, no one asked for that. They just made it because they found the formula and they were like, well, this is a company and companies are worth more than people, so here we go. And that's just gonna keep happening over and over and over again. Oh, I catch a stream at EU hours. Hello, hello, Stavo plus art. People want to be everything but themselves. Yeah. And I get it, man. I get it. I mean, who am I to talk, you know? I wasn't able to be happy until I was the world's most famous artist, you know? So it's easy for me now that I am the world's most famous artist, to sit around and be like, man, just be happy with what you have. But it's like, I know it's tough, you know? I don't know if I ever would have been happy if I hadn't achieved my goal of becoming the world's most famous, most highly paid, most respected artist, with objectively the best skills of any artist in the world. I don't know. You know, I don't have the counterfactual for that, so it's tough. It's tough. Bro, you're literally Leonardo da Vinci. I literally am. I agree with you. You're a very smart person with an incisive mind. You see through the bullshit. You see the truth of the world. I 100% agree. Your assessment is accurate. I'm humbled by your intelligence. Fantastic. Do you ever use layers in your digital work? Yeah. Not usually when I'm sketching. When I'm just doing sketchbook stuff like this, I just, just one layer. For each sketch, of course, I mean. But if I'm doing something more complicated, yeah, I'll use as many layers as strikes my fancy, my big old fancy. And when you're doing stuff for work, like if you're working for clients, you'd have lots of layers, hundreds of layers. It's because you need to have everything be editable, ready to be moved around according to an email. Estral says, hey, Steven, can you return my nose? It has been 20 years. I think I'm going to hold on to it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just one of my favorite noses. I've got it out on a credenza in my living room with some nice potted plants around it. It's got a headless bat next to it and a model skull. Those are pretty interesting things, but every time people come over to my humble home, they gravitate right towards that nose. They're like, what's this? I'm like, that? Oh, that? Oh, that's nothing. That's just Estras Munoz's fucking nose. And they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah way. Took it from him 20 years ago. Still got it. Holy shit. You serious? You serious? Yeah, I'm fucking serious right now. Yeah. You want a Moscow Mule or what? Nice, neat little nails on our monster here. He gets manicures. For sure. Sorry about that. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Come in. Oh.
Hello, Joseph, is it?
Hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph,
It's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no. No.
You wouldn't. I mean, you drew this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination. Get this thing out of my face. Oh, the sun's coming out. Wow. I blinded myself a little bit there. Long time no see, Steven. I'm around. I'm around. When you need me most, I always come around. I can't thank Steven and all these other YouTube artists enough. Without them, AI would have probably hit copyright, but you guys brought the fight. It's one small win. Thank you. I mean, whatever
whatever little impact we've had, it's got to count for something, or we hope it counts for something. But this is going to be a wild and long struggle. And there's going to be a lot of interesting developments as time goes on. And it's not going to be just, you know, artists. Certainly not just YouTube artists. I think we're going to be in this era for a while, with many industries going through this. It's going to be, yeah, interesting, to say the least. Hi, Patrick. What are your favorite authors? Saw you're digging the new McCarthy's. I mostly just go book to book, not like author to author. I sort of just follow my fancy, just reading what I'm interested in next. I do like McCarthy a lot. I've always been a fan of him, but he's one of the few like authors that I follow. Mostly I just go book to book. I just started, right after I read his newest, The Passenger and Stella Maris, I picked up a book about the Manhattan Project. I forget what it's called. How they made the bomb, I think. Love a good bloated thumb. I'm glad we made it a full hour into the stream without talking about AI. It's a sign that artists are not scared like they were when it all started. Yeah, that's good, probably. That's good, probably. And I talk about it enough behind the scenes now that I'm coming to stream for rest. I'm getting my daily dose of discussing AI and getting updated on news and reading about it elsewhere. So when I stream, I just want to focus on art now. I'm still scared about AI, just pretend to be brave. The only time you can be brave is when you're afraid. The Honorable Ned Stark. That's the only time a man can be brave, Bran. back to art then. The feeling of that hands, muscles, and bones bending so naturally feels so refreshing to stare at. I'm glad you like it. It's purposefully, it's funny that, you know, even when you're making something monstrous and weird, if you sort of do it gracefully and relaxed and just let it kind of be what it's going to be, another person can still interpret that as bending naturally. Kind of weird, right? Even though it's very unnatural bends, very monstrous bends. Fortune favors the brave. Gotta hate AI branding on everything now. AI washing machine, AI AC, AI bidet, AI cell phones. Yeah, I saw the, was it the FTC? I saw them, they issued a warning recently, like in the last few weeks, where they were like, look, companies, just so you know, you can't say it's AI if it's not actually using AI. We're gonna find out and we're gonna be mad at you. They issued some kind of warning like that. They were like, that's technically false advertising. Don't say the algorithm that you're using is AI just to keep up on the hype wagon when it actually has no AI usage in it, or machine learning usage in it. I think it was the FTC. If anyone knows what I'm talking about and it wasn't them, you can correct me. Hold on, the light coming through my window is a little too bright. I gotta lower my blinds. It's blasting right into my eyeballs. Do 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 do. Boo boo doo boo boo. Da da boo 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 boom. My energy is strong. Sorry, LOL, JK. Now keep your energy strong. We all need to keep our energy up in these crazy times. It's all right to have strong energy. Don't let them dim your light. Does getting buff help with drawing? I mean, just get buff for its own sake. Even if it doesn't help with drawing, it's probably very healthy, a good thing to do. I don't think it might help indirectly. Just because you're feeling healthier and maybe have more energy, more structured daily time, daily cycle, but I don't think it would help directly. The only thing that helps drawing directly is drawing. Trent Kaniuga said concept art companies are banning usage of AI due to possible copyright issues. Yeah, I saw that. Again, like I said earlier, all that stuff is anecdotal, unfortunately. Even Trent's example is one of the ones that's the most public, but even his is anecdotal. You know, he can't say what companies or anything like that. But stuff like that is happening. You know, I've heard a bunch of it from my connects behind the scenes, but It's like naturally, because it's occurring within these behind closed doors and within these systems and with NDAs and all that, people are just not going to be able to talk about it outright, at least not for a while. I'm sure it will come out, and those will be interesting times to be able to have that discussion out in the open. But for now, a little difficult. Joseph says, hello everyone, I am now fully awake. Were you sleeping earlier, my beautiful boy, my precious boy? Rest your weary head, my Joseph. Rest your head. What about all these free-range, organic, public domain, Creative Commons AIs? Yeah, I mean, they're going to have their own problems. They're going to be interesting. I haven't seen any of those rise up to the level. I've heard people say they have them. I've seen a couple rudimentary examples from them, but I have not seen one that is good quality yet. Some people were saying early on, they were like, the public domain one will be just as good as the one that's trained on everybody's work. And that does not seem to have panned out. I woke up to the notification you were on and was on chat before I was out of my 7th dream. Crazy. Nice. See, Joe has a level of dedication that the rest of you, a lot of you don't show it. And I don't like that, you know? Joe knows. You get the notification, you get in stream, even if you're still asleep, even if you're unconscious. You get in there. What's it going to take to make the rest of you understand? Arknark says, but no excuses. Don't give me that. Don't give me any lip. Joe says, that's why I smashed the like button, because each like is a penny in Steven's body pouch where he hoards his money. True words have never been spoken, Joe. So true. What about those of us that are subscribed but for some reason never get a notification? Yeah, YouTube is not good with that. I think the thing is that when you subscribe, you subscribe and then you have to hit the bell. But people think that's everything. No, it's actually 3 levels deep. You got to subscribe, hit the bell, and then once you've hit the bell, you need to click the bell again, go to the little toggle, and hit get all notifications for this channel instead of get notifications relevant to me. I think for most people, without putting that setting, if you get the notifications for me, where YouTube's running it through an algorithm, they're only going to send you when I post a video. They're like, streams? We don't know what to make of streams. Does this person like streams? Who knows? But I don't worry about that stuff. I just sit here and I do my work. I don't bother people with bells or anything like that. Maybe it would be better for business if I did, but it just doesn't align with me and my temperament and my energy and my values. You know I'm here. You come here and draw. I don't have it in me to ask people to engage more deeply with social media. I'm on here, but I'm trying to remind people to get away from this stuff as often as I can, to be less conditioned, to be more free. You like Lovecraft stuff? Oh, yeah. I've read a bunch of Lovecraft. Liked him since I was a little kid. At the Mountains of Madness is my favorite Lovecraft. I'll reread it or re-listen to it, usually at least once a year. Such an excellent, moody story. Must announce to the world incredible discovery of greatest scientific importance. Strangely remembers so-called elder things of eldritch lore. A coincidence, no doubt. Color Out of Space is good too, yep. Good morning, Stephen. Hope you're having a great one. I am. Good morning. What's your favorite dark fantasy media? I guess it would depend what you consider to be dark fantasy. I think that's kind of up in the air, so. Because my favorite fantasy stuff is Song of Ice and Fire, but a lot of people would not consider that dark fantasy because there's magic. Is that why they wouldn't? I don't even know what the hell what people's criteria is for dark magic. All those genre boundaries are made up anyway. Hey, Great White Sufi. First time catching a stream in Ramzan. What's Ramzan? Is that a place? What happened to Elden Ring? Nothing happened to it. What happened to it? That DLC is going to come out someday soon. Well, not someday soon, but... Well, who knows? We just know nothing. But nothing happened to it. What the dog doing? Yeah, where is my dog? She ain't in here because I didn't bring her bed in here. Forgot to bring her bed in here before stream. I gotta get another dog bed, so she's got a dog bed for every room. Oh, I see. You were talking about Ramadan. Yeah, I'd never heard it called Ramzan before. Good luck with your fasting. I'll do a couple of heads. Came out looking like some mobster. Some babyface mobster. I do have one of Steven's students pop up in my feed, and it's cool to see. Nice. They're out there. They're doing good work. That looks like a CEO at an AI corp. Nice. How do you think art has shaped and helped us develop as a species? I wouldn't even know where to begin. I mean, it's been profoundly important in my opinion. Yeah, I would not even know where to begin. I mean, before there was science, up until science came around, there was really nothing but art, so. Steven, do you think you're at the point where you have too many students at every offering? Bordering on it, but that's not really a problem because I can always just limit it. There's definitely more demand than there is supply, for sure. But yeah, I can always just limit that, so it's all right. Like when I was doing the workshops, I always limited it to like just the amount of people that I could handle giving that many people personalized feedback for a month, you know? It's like if it was any more people than that, it'd be really hard. You know, I'd be cutting corners with people and things like that. At least if I kept doing it all on my own, if I didn't have like help doing administration and stuff like that. Whenever I do stuff like that, I always just limit it to just like, this is the number that I know I can do a good job with them. Can you use the Apple Pencil with the Huion tablet? You cannot. You can only use the Apple Pencil with the iPad Pro. Actually, I think there is a non-Pro iPad you can use the Apple Pencil with now, but I don't know which one it is. Why are shoulder pads so fun to draw? Because God made them that way. Because God saw the earth and he said it was good. And then God created the pauldron and he said, now that's very good. Fuck. That's awesome. Shit, man. Damn, I didn't know it could get that good. And then Satan was over in the corner. He was like, I will pervert the pauldrons and try to draw maleficence from all good things about the pauldron. And God was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, Satan. I'll let you taint humans, but I'll never let you taint the pauldrons. They'll always be pure, perfect, and fun to draw. Handsome Squidward? The back 3/4 that I did? Definitely. Handsome Squidward makes for the best back 3/4. That's just me. That's just me with squat eyebrows and slick hair. That's all that is. I need more room here. You played Pizza Tower, bro. This game was made with pure love and soul by French Baguette too. What are we talking about? Is that a real game? Or are you fucking with me? Pizza Tower. I just got told to come into work at noon, so I get to actually hang out. Yes, 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 yes. It's really all just versions of Steven for a series about the Stevenverse. That's right. Every time I accidentally draw myself, it's just another concept for drawing Ascendant, the Eternal Chronicles of Steven Zapata, Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1. Automatic concept work. the fuck side are buttons on? What side are buttons on? They're on your left side. I saw The Whale with Brendan Fraser. I thought it was good. I'll be honest, I don't know if it didn't strike me as a best actor performance. Not to take anything away from anybody who has done something incredible with their life. That's just how it landed for me. But I also think I'm not a big fan of movies like that. Like, you know what it is? I'm not a fan of movies that, all right, so when I was in the middle of watching it, I was watching it with my wife, and in the middle of it, like, not middle of it, like maybe 10 minutes in, I was like, this is one of those movies based on a one-room play, isn't it? Like, when the set didn't change for 10 minutes straight, I was like, this is based on play. And then just like clockwork at the end of the movie, up comes the based on the play by da-da-da-da. It's just like, I've always never really liked movies like that, you know? I don't like when it's not taking full advantage of the form, you know? When it could be something else, you know? If it's a movie, I want it to be like a movie. And it just didn't strike me as super cinematic, taking advantage of the fact that it was a movie. Like, it felt like a play while we were watching it. I watched Tar after that. I liked Tar much more. I thought Tar felt like a movie, you know, very cinematic. Full use of the form. What's he pushing? Shopping cart? This guy's in his shopping cart? It's weird. He's got to be more like this size. Kind of like falling over. Maybe he's leaning against the little baby thing. No, it makes more sense like this. Like, yeah, I guess I'll take this monster. Maybe this one. I think we have some of this monster at home still. I don't think we need more of this monster. Kate Blanchett supremacy. Yeah, she did a great job. I really like Tar. Have you ever thought about growing your hair out? I have. I used to have it really long back in high school. I had a big, weird afro kind of a thing. I've thought about growing it back out again. One last hurrah before I'm too old to do anything. Before it's time for me to wear Crocs and sweaters, hoodies exclusively, and Under Armour. Under Armour shirts and Crocs exclusively. I'm almost there. One last chance to grow my hair out. It sounds like aquarium ambiance. You're right. When you're right, you're right. There's no denying it. When you're right, you're right. One last ride. What do I want to listen to? Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm done with music. Yeah, we'll just put on the lo-fi again. Well, we all get to the Under Armour and Crocs eventually. That's what I'm saying, baby. And I'm just like, I'm ready to get there now. I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to quit. I'm already there at 29. For some of us, it happens sooner than others. On a dark desert highway, cool Crocs in my hair, warm smell of Under Armour rising up through the air. Ray says, Zap, send me an old, important to you, pure drawing you made to my Facebook. I'd like to have it. What? I'm not going to do that. I don't touch Facebook. Stay away from that mind poison. Thank God I extricated myself from that one. I ain't sending you shit. Want an email then? No. No. Don't give me your email. I'm just going to level with you completely. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to email you any drawings. Just going to be straight up with you, dog. Just going to be totally honest with you, bro. Just going to be real with you, friend. It's cool. It is cool. You didn't need to say that. I know it's cool. I love you too, buddy. Get over there. Just go, you go up there. Hello, Jack Foster. What's up? Have you ever tried to sculpt? I have. I've done a bit of sculpture. I've done a bit of sculpture myself. You know, I'm something of an artist myself. Watched the Metallica Until It Sleeps video yesterday. Some cool designs and props in there. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. Exit light. Enter night. Exit light. And tonight, take my hand, we're off to Never Never Land. And mine has taken my sight, taking my speech, taking my hearing, taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul, taking what's left of me. Oh, she always comes when I sing. She always comes. She cannot resist my siren song. Hello, my little girl. I know. You love when I sing. You can't get enough. You can't get enough. I know. What else is this guy picking up from the store? That cart needs filling. It's all just monsters. He's packing it up with monsters. He's at the monster store. All the monsters we're drawing are a big display that he's walking through and he's shopping for it. He's trying to pick which monsters he wants. What do you do? Don't come over here. Come over here. Don't sit on the wires. Come over here. Oh God, you'll be fine. It's not your cookie time. You're a half hour early for cookie time. Hotel California, dude. I'd hit you with the Hotel California. My allergies are so bad. My throat's been closing up for like the past 3 days. Who am I kidding? On a dark desert highway. No, you see, I can't. On a dark desert highway. Cool wind in my hair. Warm smell of colitas. Rising up through the air. That's all I can do. I can already feel my throat closing. I saw her shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. See, I gotta stop. So I'm gonna stop singing now. The pink champagne on ice. We are all just prisoners here of our own device. I don't know what the heck kind of head I want this thing to have. First priority, I suppose, is to figure out these shoulder fins. You're a full half hour early for cookies. It's not gonna happen. Go lay down. Go to bed. Go to bed. She's looking at me like I'm the idiot. Like I'm the one who doesn't understand. Sing for Banana Bread Soul. Rest in peace, brother. This one's for you, Banana Bread. We miss you, brother. This was Banana Bread's favorite song. On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to speak. What can I say? Banana Bread just loves the gambler. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. And in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Steven, did you take dynamic sketching at Art Center? I didn't realize Peter Hahn taught that class. I took a version of it. Wait. I had the principles covered, but I never took dynamic sketching. I don't think Peter Hahn was teaching it back when I was at school. I think back when I was at school, it was taught by Will Weston and a legendary teacher who was unfortunately killed while I was at Art Center. He was shot at a 4th of July party. Damn, I forget his name. If anyone in the chat knows, throw his name in there because he was a legendary Art Center teacher, but I believe he also taught dynamic sketching. Yeah, I didn't take it. That was an illustration track class, and I was in entertainment design. We learned the principles of dynamic sketching. We more covered in our extended version of that material called VisCom, short for visual communication. So it wasn't like dynamic sketching, the sort of codified, well-known class that has all these different permutations around, but it was the same principles, just taught more in the abstract in VisCom. That was how we did in entertainment design. Norm, yeah, what was his last name? Didn't Norm teach dynamic sketching? Why was he shot? Psst, just bullshit, man. Just classic human bullshit. If I remember correctly, I mean, there might be more to it than I know, but he upset someone at a barbecue around 4th of July. Guy left the party, came back with a gun, shot him dead. Like, stupid human bullshit. A tragedy, man. He was attempting to break up a fight, I believe. Even worse, dude. Yeah, I don't know much of the details. That's just what I remember hearing when it happened. Steven, do you ever force yourself to draw when you start drawing, or do you somehow always want to do it? No, I mean, I force myself sometimes. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like forcing, you know? It's like, there's definitely times where I would say I'm not sitting down super in the mood to draw or anything like that, but it's so habituated, you know? Like, I just know the drafting table, my drawing desk is one of the places I gotta be, you know? So I may be forcing myself, but it's like it's like the way that going to work feels like you're forcing yourself. It's like, yeah, you don't want to go to work. You're technically forcing yourself to go to work, but you just kind of do it because, you know, you have to, you know, it's what you do, you know? On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere. Will the sketchbook you're putting out next be for sale online or in-person stuff only, like at cons? I still got to figure that out. My plan right now is just in person, because it's a lot of work to ship books like that. If it depends how I print it, what company I use, if I can have someone else handle the shipping for it, if the money works out right for that, to store it and ship it. Because I couldn't, right now, I just couldn't, I couldn't have stock of something that people would then order and I'd have to like box it up and ship it out. I couldn't do that. I would not have the time to do it. So in person, you know, I've always wanted to have it just for in person, for going to cons or something, just to have something people can go away with if they want. Beyond that, I'd need, I would either need I would need a company to do all the shipping and fulfillment for me, which adds a lot of considerations and money figures and things like that. Or I'd need like an assistant or an intern or something like that who could do the shipping for me. Then I could hold on to some stock and just have someone else mail it out. But as it is right now, I can't do that. Joe says you could do it. Not ongoing, Joe. I could not. I could do it in a burst if I cleared my schedule, of course. Hold on, my frickin' Photoshop's crashing. But to just have stock, because a book like that, I could just sell it kind of forever, you know, ongoing. I can't do that. What the heck? What's going on here? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I gotcha. I thought my Photoshop was doing its favorite little glitch where I need to open another window. If I remember correctly, Stephen worked on some PoE stuff. No, I did not. I didn't. I think that's Path of Exile, right? I did not do any Path of Exile work. Patrick says, oh my God, I will be your intern. There's a few hoops to go through before that. I would need to, you know, if I was I know we're fucking around, but if I was going to actually have an intern, I'd want it to be a real intern. Like the person is getting college credit. So I would need to figure out how to set that up. I would need a university to be like, wow, Steven's very real. Yes. Yes. Spending time with him deserves college credit for sure. I suck so much at drawing, I can't put in visual what my mind wants. That is with a good old regular pen, but I have a strong visual communication analysis. It just takes practice. You get better at it the more you do it. Everybody starts off bad with a pen. Steven, what would you consider a drawing? What would you consider a drawing finished enough to put in a book that you would sell at $50 plus? I don't think that's the right way to think about it. I mean, a book, well, look, a book just costs whatever margins you need for the kind of printing that you're doing. You know, like a book's, unfortunately, a book's price is very rarely associated with the quality of the content. It's associated with how big the print run is. You know, it could have the best content ever, and if people can sell it at, you know, $5 a pop, they might do it but it's just so hard to get a print run that big where it makes the money work out. So I think that's kind of the wrong way to look at it. I mean, for a book to be $50, it's like, as long as the audience connects with the content, it's not about how finished a drawing is or anything like that. It's about how nice is the book? Does it feel like it's a $50 book? When you hold it in your hands, when you look at it, when you observe it. Which is hard, you know, because if you can't do a big print run, then your book might be $50, but it'll be cheap as hell, you know? Hello, Gemel. How are you? Colin Gallagher says, Steven, very important question. How are you and how's the cat? How's the cat? How's the cat? I'm good. And my dog is fine. At least I think she's fine. I know she's hungry for coogies. She's around here somewhere trying to get coogies. Great White Sufi says, only asking because I see a lot of people who buy Karl Kopinski books complaining about how the work wasn't looking finished enough. That sounds like a them problem. I mean, you're always gonna find, there's always gonna be bad reviewers. You're never gonna please everybody. I mean, people think the Iliad sucks. There's people out there leaving bad reviews for Paradise Lost. Like, you're always going to have your detractors. Especially for Karl, that seems crazy because Karl is basically famous for his sketches. You know, his finished work, like his oil paintings and stuff like that, that stuff's cool. And a lot of people know Karl's oil paintings too, but I think most people know him for his sketches. And they think of him as a fast artist. So that really just sounds like a them problem. Maybe they didn't know who they were buying from. Maybe they don't really know Karl's work. I had the same reaction to the review. Yeah, just don't. And it's unfortunate that something little like that is making you wonder when a drawing is good enough to be in a book. I would literally just let that review that you read go in one ear and out the other. I just think that person's. Sometimes you're objectively wrong and stupid. That happens. It happens. It's like some people are just famous for sketches. What are you going to do? Get a book of Claire Wendling drawings and be like, what? None of these are rendered. How could Claire have sold this to me? Where's the oil paintings? Where's the full color? These are just Claire Wendling sketches. You know, the best sketches ever. You know, literally the best living draftsperson. Literally nobody alive draws better than her. You're going to sit here complaining? Like, that person just, they shouldn't be buying books from people who are famous for sketching. Are you a Yelp reviewer, Steven? No. My God. There but for the grace of God go I. If I didn't have my other creative outlets like drawing, I'm sure I would be a Yelp reviewer. I'd be one of those people, just the bottom of the barrel, the most degenerate human beings, people who write Yelp reviews like they're writing for the New fucking Yorker. And that would definitely be me. I'd be punching way above my weight on Yelp. I could see it, Steven. Absolutely. Dude, don't get me wrong. I'd be the best pretentious world-destroying Yelp reviewer. But that wouldn't mean that I was a good person. I would still be the dregs of humanity. I would still be wasting the only consciousness I have on the most loathsome activity. This creature's head is either a proboscis or a massive bong. Let's go massive bong. Take a bong hit, man, off of the head of my giant creature. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hit it, hit it. Come on, man. Take a bong hit off of the head of my giant creature. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. I think the drowsiness from my antihistamines is hitting. On a dark desert highway, giant creature in my hand, warm smell of a bong hit, rising up through the air. Apparently, colitas might refer to weed anyway. It's not a real flower. Interesting. Interesting. Rock stars did drugs? Vape me again, Kurt Cobain. I don't care who you ask. That's funny. Where did you learn to sing so nice? You can't learn to sing as good as me. I'm just built that way, man. I've got the genetics of a 9-year-old girl singing Ave Maria at a funeral. You can't fake that stuff. That's just pure genetic dominance right there. I've got the genetics of a 10-year-old girl nailing an Adele song at a community theater talent show. I love these wobbly dudes. I love them wobbly. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just what I love the most. I love them wobbly. What is it about Claire Wendling's sketches and draftsmanship that elevate her above the common peasant? Some people just, they have the aristocratic blood in them. Maybe it's because she's French, you know? French has a long history of aristocracy. Some people just have the blood of royals in them, you know? Claire's got it. It's like her drawings are just, you know, we can do our best to try to make drawings that are good, you know, that reach some sort of a level. But someone like Claire, it's like her drawings are automatically good because they came from her royal bloodline. Because she's just got it. She's got the mystical je ne sais quoi that is completely barred to people like us. People like us who had to rise up, who had to scrape together whatever skill we could from whispered secrets and stolen hours practicing behind the counter at work. Not Claire, not the Claires of the world. Sometimes God sends us an angel just to show us what's really possible. I'm just kidding, of course. She's that good because she worked way harder than you. That's it. She's more focused than you, more clever than you, spent way more time doing it than you. Got a resting heart rate of 51. How are you ever going to catch up? Guarantee you Claire's got a resting heart rate of 51. If that. I bet she's in the high 40s, dude. Oh no, my dog's going to bark. Oh, she shut up. All right, that's good. That's real good. Do you like Bloodborne more than Elden Ring in terms of art direction and lore? Yeah, I'd say so. Dude, if they make a Bloodborne 2, I'm there. Oh, I'll play it. I know this may be a wild take, This might be unpopular. Unpopular thing to say. But I would play Bloodborne 2. I would play it. I would play it. I know most people wouldn't. I would. I'd play it. Steven, are you using a smudge tool to diffuse the shadow lines? Not on this one. Just the airbrush. The airbrush is always my go-to for doing rendering of soft forms. It does the best job. The smudge tool, I use it sometimes to destroy an area that has too much stuff in it, like lines and values overlapping and stuff like that. But the smudge tool will never give you as clean a modeling edge as the airbrush. Sekiro is the best. I should play Sekiro. I bought it a while ago and then I got really busy and I bounced off. And but I had bought it on PC. Now I can't play it on that PC anymore because my wife uses it for work. So I've been resisting playing it because I don't want to pay for it twice, because I'd buy it for I'd buy it for my PS5 now. I do want to play it, but I'm just like, am I really going to pay for this game twice? It wouldn't be the first time. There's definitely been a couple games that I'm like, all right, this is the third time I'm buying this. Jesus. Bloodborne is my favorite overall, but Sekiro is my favorite gameplay-wise. Yeah, I hear if you like the really strong timing and all that, that Sekiro is the winner. Do you think she sits in her ivory tower right now watching this stream, looking down on us, laughing at our futile efforts to improve at art? From my experience, Claire is extremely kind and she wants people to draw as much as possible. She loves the heart of art, the spirit of drawing. When do you prefer to use the mixer brush instead of the airbrush? I use the mixer brush when there's already a lot of info down in the picture. When I did a lot of client work, stuff that required a lot of like photo bashing and things like that, I used the mixer brush a lot because it made it easy to manipulate groups of pixels to repair photos and things like that. But the mixer brush really don't do much. Like if I was to use it on this, it wouldn't really do much because there's just not a lot of info. It's basic shapes. There's not a lot of variety in the pixels and the colors and things like that. So once things get crazier, once there's a lot of info down in the picture, then I'll use the mixer brush more. Because it gets a nicer effect when it is pushing around a bunch of different stuff. Hello, could you please let me know what brush you sketch with? Just the regular hard round. Actually, I think I was doing a lot of these sketches with just the normal airbrush set very small. If you zoom in, you can see the edges are slightly soft. It looks like a hard brush when it's really tiny though. But all of this is just either the hard round or the airbrush very soft. I like to keep it very simple so that I can just focus on my drawing. And it reminds me to just make the best shapes that I can. What do you think about Bekchinski's painting technique? I don't know much about his specific technique. I know his art. His art's great, but I don't know much about his specific techniques. He's a fantastic artist, though. Really influential now, huh? I'm sure he would have been tickled to see how famous he is now. Steven, I just thought of your drawings and this pops up. Wow.
You see? The universe is speaking to you.
Hello, Steven. Are your printed books available for sale? Nope. I do not have any books available right now. I want to have books available sometime soon, but I don't have anything right now. Goodbye, Joe. Good luck in your meeting, man. I'll talk to you soon. It's going to be about that time for me, too. We've been drawing for 3 hours. It's lunchtime. I'll stay on for a bit longer. And then I'm going to head out. Go get some food. Do some course feedback. See what the weather's like. Maybe I'll go for a run today. Looks like the sun's coming out right now. See what the weather is. 45. It looked warmer than that outside. I can still run in that though. Steven, did you ever watch the Berserk anime or manga? I did watch the anime. I know there's multiple ones. I forget which one I saw. You know, I watched it like homework one day because too many people had told me to watch Berserk. This is years and years ago now. And I've read part of the manga. But I'm really not a big comic book guy. So I read it to check it out, and you know, it's just a big cultural artifact, and so many people love it. So I read a bunch of it, but you know, it's good, it's great. It's not like I stopped reading it because I didn't think it was good or anything. I just stopped reading it because I don't really read comics. You know, I'm not really a big graphic novel guy. I like to keep my pictures and my words separate. Ironically enough. It don't make sense because I'm combining pictures and words right now, but when I'm consuming stuff, for some reason when I'm consuming stuff, I like to either be consuming pictures or words. That's not true because movies are pictures and words at the same time. That's not true. Have you ever run a marathon, Stephen? I keep thinking I should do one. I run all the time. I have not. I've thought about, I haven't like really thought about running a marathon. Not really a race guy. You know, I run to relax for the most part. I have thought about just clearing a day, or, you know, half a day, like picking a Saturday and running a half marathon for myself to feel what that feels like. But I haven't done it yet. But I probably will. That's been on my mind a bunch recently. I like that squiggly guy. I really like him. I don't know what to tell you. Stop fighting with me about it. It's just, it is what it is, all right? Some say that Beksinski couldn't paint. He only drew with paints. I'm sure whoever says that has never made a piece of art in their fucking life. I'm sure that whoever says Beksinski couldn't paint, he only drew with paints, is not an artist. I'm sure there's someone who has made their life off of saying stupid crap like that. Every time I read something like that, I always think of Birdman with Michael Keaton when he's yelling at the critic in the bar. You risk nothing, 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 nothing. I love it. Maybe that's not meant to be sincere from the viewpoint of the author, but it always lands sincere to me. I'm always like, hell yeah. Ray says, I'm gay. That's all right, Ray. You're all right, buddy. Bro is literally famous for his paintings. Yeah, it's like, you could say whatever you want about him. Talk is cheap, you know? Brendan says, reminds me of when I got in a big argument with an art history professor back in college over Norman Rockwell. The professor thought he wasn't a real artist. Insane take even to my 20-year-old self. I mean, every art museum that can get a Norman Rockwell has one, so... Does your art history professor have anything in any museums? I wonder. I bumped into a Norman Rockwell a few weeks ago at the Cummer Museum of Art in Jacksonville, Florida. I always tell people, man, wherever you go, I do this. Wherever I go, I always go to the local art museum. The more boring it looks when you look it up, the more when you look up the art museum and you're like, I'm not going to go to this one. They're not going to have anything. Always go to that one. Don't look it up. Don't look up what they have. They never have it all online. Every time you go, you always bump into something. When I went to the Cummer Museum, it was one of those. You know, I was like, there's not going to be anything here. But fortunately, I have this role, so I was like, I'm absolutely going. Norman Rockwell, one of Bouguereau's best. They just have it up on a wall, a huge life-size Bouguereau of a festival with people dancing and stuff like that. Like, you always bump into unexpected stuff at every art museum. Always go. Always go. If you had a choice between Leyendecker or Rockwell, which would you choose? I mean, with no criteria, it's just impossible. I mean, if you're looking for like art, like cultural impact, Rockwell wins, I think, for sure. Even though Rockwell was highly influenced by Leyendecker. But you just can't deny that Rockwell he struck on something. He struck on something that not even Leyendecker could have hoped to hit. And he just did such a wild... Rockwell did such a wild variety of compositions, just like every kind of thing, you know. He almost got avant-garde with it at times. I mean, he was a true artist, you know. He went really wild. Leyendecker is slicker, in some sense a better draftsman if like design is really important to you, like stylization and things like that. I don't think you could beat Leyendecker for that. Especially with how few, at that time, how few precedents Leyendecker had for stylizing to such a refined level. I mean, now we have Leyendecker to benchmark off of, or Disney and things like that. Leyendecker had so few benchmarks. It's pretty unbelievable what he did. But Rockwell is an insane draftsman too. I mean, he's not just like he's well known for like taking really good photography and integrating it well and things like that. But if you look at his study drawings and stuff like that, Rockwell was a psychotically good draftsman, an amazing designer. An amazing designer. Yeah, as much as Leyendecker's cool, more unknown, he was a teacher to Rockwell or a soft mentor, influencer, more stylized. I guess the more I talk it through, I'd have to take Rockwell. Lucas with the 50 PLN. Thank you so much, Lucas. I agree. Your drawing course is gigantic. It is. Had some minor courses from Procreate. Found some interesting things there, but nothing even close to what I learned from you. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much, Lucas. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad that you agree the course is gigantic. I mean, it just is. There's just a lot in there. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Thank you so much. Ray with the 220 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, Ray. Keep it up. Oh, I will keep it up. I will keep it up. Thank you so much for the donations, folks. I really appreciate it. On that note, I'm going to head out. Keep it up. And I'm like, great, I will. I'm leaving. But I'm getting very hungry. It's time to go eat lunch. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Here's the sketchbook page that we filled up today. I will see you all again very soon. I think maybe tomorrow I'll do another stream. Check out the course, check out the Patreon, blah, ba-da, ba-da. And you're all very near and dear to my heart. And you're also all my enemy. And I love you all, but I also loathe you all. And we're all good buds, and we're also total strangers. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Thank you, Mizubi. Thank you, Ray. Can't wait to bite into that course. I'm hungry to get to work. The puns, Mizubi. You're killing me. You're killing me. Do your class participants get access to your Discord? The Discord is through Patreon, but there is there's another community in the back of house for the course. That's the feedback community. That's more like that's more structured. Like, I guess the closest analog would be like a Facebook group page. You know, people post, people respond in threads underneath it. If you want Discord access, you just get on the Patreon. The Discord, if you're on the Patreon once, you're just in the Discord. It doesn't revoke your membership when you're done. The patron-only streams, those get posted up on the Patreon, so you got to be an active member of Patreon to see the link, see the player for it. Thanks, everybody. Loathe you later, says Fran. Goodbye, Christopher. Goodbye, Tom Sabatello. Goodbye, Travis Naus. Goodbye, Falls 3616. Goodbye, Sullivan was here. Goodbye, Bima. Goodbye, Neil Kowalkowski, who says, good night, sweet prince. Thank you so much for calling me a prince. I like that. I like to be treated nice. I like compliments. I just like when people say nice things about me. That's what I need to feel good. Goodbye, Arknark. My pleasure. Goodbye, Brendan Murphy. Goodbye, Cassie Norwood. Goodbye, Patrick Choi. Goodbye, Colin Gallagher. Goodbye, Mohammed Seif. Goodbye, Mizubi Art. Goodbye, Felix Sembach. Goodbye, Robert Litja. And goodbye to non-local quantum circuit. I wonder if Baczynski would be interested in AI art and use it if he were alive. Knowing that he was very interested in technical innovations, before his death he was very interested in creating in a computer. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, who knows? I mean, he'd probably be, you know, if Baczynski was alive in our time, he'd be a completely different person. You know, we are created by our time, you know? We are created by our time. All right, everybody. Take care. I'll try to have my allergies cleared up by next stream so I'm not coughing so much. And so that I can, of course, soothe the savage breast